guys, welcome back into the channel. Back with our Big Brother Season 2 reviews. We are now on to episode 20. And this was actually a really interesting episode in a lot of ways. The first thing that I thought was interesting is the fact that I actually liked it. And it's weird because there was no HOH competition. If you've been watching these reviews, you know that I don't like the food competitions. The luxury competitions can be okay, but all in all, those are two of my least favorite things of Big Brother in general, but particularly Big Brother 2. I like my HOH competitions. I like my future season veto competitions, but food competitions, no, don't like those. Hate them. And I got to say that all in all, this was a good episode despite the fact there was no HOH competition. I kind of had forgotten that was a thing, that there was a week later in the season where just randomly they don't have an HOH. And they go a whole week in the house without one, and I forgot about that completely. And I'm surprised I like this episode. But yeah, the episode starts out, obviously, the result of Krista'S eviction and the effect that it's had on the house. All of them are going throughout the diary room talking about how basically the energy level in the house is down at this point, that a lot of people were affected by this. And the most surprising thing is all the way down to Dr. Will, who I talked about in my previous episode review that, you know, Will seemed genuinely upset by this, genuinely affected by this. And I got to say that he tells you in the diary room, and Will is a guy, yeah, he'll lie to the house guests, but unlike other people like Hardy and Bunky and Krista and all these others in the house, he doesn't lie to us. You know, when he's in the diary room, he tells you what he really feels. He tells you really, you know, what he really thinks. And he tells us that even more so than, you know, Shannon, fuck, my hair is all messed up, guys. Even more so than like when Shannon and Boogie and all them went home, that this was definitely the time where he was most affected by it. You saw tears from Will. And I remember thinking like, wow, like Dr. Will is crying. Like I didn't remember this from, you know, the last time I had watched BB2, which had been a while. But he definitely is. And he tells you that it's real. It is real. But of course, and only Dr. Will would do this. Even though when he's got this genuine emotion and a genuine reaction to this situation, he's able to say, you know what, how can I use this to help myself in the game? And he takes the tears, he goes on over to Monica. Old fucking Monica, old emotional Monica. And he says, you know what, I'm going to make sure she sees me crying. Yes, I mean, so it's like, yeah, Will is emotional and he feels bad for not, you know, keeping or voting to keep Krista. He feels bad because he feels like he let Boogie down, he let Shannon down and whatnot. But he says, you know what, I'm going to use this. And he takes it over to Monica and he tries to use it as a way to create like a bond with her, to create some common ground with her and show her like, look, I'm not that bad of a guy. And ultimately Monica says in the DR, she kind of sees through it. She may have like a sense that it's fake, but ultimately I think if Monica won HOH this week, I don't think Will would be in jeopardy of going home. So I do think, and even though she may see through the tears, I do think that it did help create a bond with them, which was the whole point that Will was trying to, you know, the whole point of what Will was doing. I just thought it was funny, that whole reaction, like interaction between the two in the house when Will's sitting there talking to her and she's going on, and no one, you know, trying to be the old leader and give him some wisdom and some words of advice, and no one knows what the fuck she's saying, including Will. But at one point, Will responds to her and is like, that's the smartest thing I've heard in the house since I've been here. And then you get right after he says that, you get the snapshot of him in the DR saying like, look, I have no idea what she was talking about. I just thought that was a good time for me to interject that comment. You know, didn't really mean it because I don't know what she's saying, but felt like that was a good part to, you know, a good point to throw that in. And I thought that was hilarious. I've always thought that little comment by Will was absolutely hilarious. Then we had Bunky. He approaches Monica. This was a good episode for Bunky. He's doing a lot of different things throughout this episode, but he goes to Monica and basically says that he feels like they should work together. Obviously, Bunky's got some self-awareness in the house. He realizes he's kind of the low man on the totem pole. He also knows that Monica losing her friend, she potentially could be a low person on the totem pole. So why not join together and try to create some sort of a duo, a powerful duo. So Bunky approaches her. He's smart enough. In his mind, you know, and it's been going on for a few episodes, he wants Hardy out of the house. And he thinks that him and the two women could kind of unite and go after Hardy. But he knows that, obviously, Monica's upset at Nicole at this point in time. So he does not give that information to Monica. He leaves out the fact that, yes, I want to kind of unite with Nicole and target Hardy. He does not tell Monica that, which I think is smart because Monica obviously is steaming at Nicole currently. So Bunky doesn't let her know that, but he does let us in the DR, lets us know about that. I thought Bunky approaching her was, good on his part. He also goes to Will and says the same thing. So I thought Bunky was doing some really good work throughout this episode. Then you get the luxury competition. It was like a game where all the house guests had to chip away at the ice, and whoever chipped away at it first and got the ticket out from inside wins. Ultimately, Bunky wins the competition. He decides to take Monica. They get to watch American Pie 2, which if you have not seen that movie, it is absolutely incredible. Hilarious. Love all the American Pies, but American Pie 2 is one of my favorites. Did not realize that movie was that old, actually, but all in all, that's pretty good. Whatever. You get to watch him eating popcorn and whatever the fuck, who cares. But then we have Bunky and Will, and they kind of share some common ground in terms of they both want Hardy out of the house. Obviously, the power struggle between Will and Hardy's been going on for weeks now, maybe even a little longer than that. Bunky's really joining. He really wants Hardy out of the house, and Will and Bunky have kind of found some common ground in terms of they both want to evict the same person really fucking badly. Thought that was another good Bunky moment, going to Will and making him aware of it. Then we have Hardy telling Monica that basically Will should go next. I kind of thought this segment was a little out of nowhere, but Hardy seems to really want Will out of the house. He not only goes to Monica and tells her that, but then he goes to Bunky and tells him that, and then he goes to Nicole and tells him that. And I thought the fact that Hardy goes to Bunky really shows Bunky is doing a really good job in this episode. He's doing a really good job strategizing against Hardy, but making sure that Hardy's not aware of it. And the fact that Hardy goes to Bunky wanting Will out shows that Hardy has no idea that Bunky's plotting against him. And then we have the moment when he tells Nicole, because Nicole's done a really good job of kind of playing both sides, and she kind of makes it difficult to know, like, is she really with Will more, or is she with Hardy more? And I always got the feeling she was more with Hardy, and here you kind of got confirmation that she is more with Hardy, because she tells Hardy that, look, Will's trying to drive a wedge between us, basically, is what she tells him. And, it's like, fuck you, Nicole. Really? Pick Hardy over Will? Don't like you for that. But Nicole is playing a really good game. And I thought that was a really good segment. Again, showed the Will and Hardy's power struggle. Hardy's now going around to everybody trying to get Will out of the house. And I'm sure it's going to get back to Will from Bunky, I'm sure, soon enough. Then we had a food competition, which, again, I hate most food competitions, but this one was absolutely great. Basically, they all got they had to go to separate rooms and open up the peanut butter jar lid, and then your lid had a number, and whatever your number was, you got a phone call from Julie. You go to the DR, talking to Julie, and Julie basically gives them all. It's temptation, basically. She gives them all, the first offer is $2,500. But if you take it, then everybody in the house has to eat PB&J for 5 days, and it keeps going on, and on and on. Each time they reject it. Ultimately, Bunky, surprise, surprise, takes the offer, agrees to take $5,000 for 4 days for everyone to be on PB&J. And then you got Hardy takes it too, but he takes it one step farther in. He takes the offer for, $7,500 for 3 days PB&J. So those two completely sell out. They offer to they agree to take the money, despite the fact that it's going to fuck up, these people in the house. And that the people in the house are going to be punished for them winning a prize. But then you got Nicole, Monica, and surprise, surprise, Will, who's so evil according to everybody in the house, right? They all three say no. We're not going to take this deal. We're not going to punish our fellow house guests. And, I thought it was interesting that you got Hardy and Bunky, two of the people I think of the five, they're the two in the house that have played we're better than everyone, and we're going to target these people because they're evil people, and they're vindictive people, and they're conniving people, and all, and they're the two that when the push came to shove, sold everyone out. It wasn't the other three, it was those two. And I thought that was really interesting. And it just kind of shows what I've been saying all along, particularly with Hardy. He's fake. He will do whatever he has to do to serve himself. He does not really, I think he's a good person, but in the grand scheme of things, he does not care about the other people in the house as much as he claims to. And I thought Will did a really good job, because after the house finds out that someone took the deal, everyone's all up in arms. And I think if I was in the house, I would have been able to tell it was Bunky just by the fact that everyone else was making such a stink about it while he was being relatively quiet. And I really found Hardy just absolutely disgusting when he's out there. He's one of the, you got Will upset, Nicole upset, Monica upset. They all have a right to be upset. But then you have Hardy, who's throwing a fit base saying, whoever took it is an idiot because you didn't even take the best offer. Really, Hardy, you took it too. You're mostly mad that you didn't win the money. That's what you're mad about. You're mad that someone else sold out before you. You're not necessarily mad that someone sold out. And so I thought Hardy looked fake as, he was as fake as ever in that segment. I thought obviously Will knows that people are going to potentially think it was him. So he's subtly trying to make a point of saying, like, look, it wasn't me. And everyone's saying, oh, it wasn't me. Will does that as well. But Will takes it one step farther when he says, like, look, whoever did this, we're all going to find out. And you are fucking 100% not going to win this game because we will not vote for you. And I thought Will saying that, like, if I was in the house, I would say, okay, well, Will clearly did not take the deal. Because why even throw that out into the air if you were the one that did? So I thought that was a really good way on Will's part to, I think, make it known to the house guests that, look, it was not me that took this deal. Ultimately, Hardy eventually, conscience gets the better of him. He admits to him, like, look, I sold out at the 3rd level, but someone else sold out the 2nd level, and it wasn't me. So Hardy admits to all of them that he's fake. Nicole even, I think, is flabbergasted, like, look, I thought you were the guy that you couldn't go on PB&J. You needed to eat at all times. And I think, this is a good score in Will's favor. The fact that Will didn't sell out and Hardy did. Nicole's got to consider that, I would think. Because Will has been telling her for weeks that, look, if we get to the end and it's us 3, he'll evict your ass and will keep me because he can beat me and he can't beat you. And I think the fact that he sold not just her out, but the whole house out, for this money has to make her think, like, if he'll do this, is Will telling me the truth? Will he not vote me out in the final 3 just to take Will? I think that, whether they show that in future episodes or not, this is a relatively smart woman. She's got to be thinking that. That has to pop into her mind at some point. So I think that segment was unbelievable because it showed that Bunky and Hardy are the 2 most likely to sell people out. And I thought, again, it was interesting that they were the 2 that were all high and mighty all season long. And this really was a really, really good competition. And I know we see it in future seasons. I believe we see this exact type of situation in season 4. I'm not sure if we see it in 3, but I know we see it in 4. And there's someone stupid enough to do the same thing that Bunky did in season 4. Just a little spoiler. But all in all, it was a really good episode, which is crazy because you got food and luxury competitions throughout the whole second half of the episode. But they did a really good job. It shows that if you do good competitions and you have good drama, you can have a good episode even without high stakes. And again, this was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. Definitely excited, though, for episode 21. Hopefully we get our HOH in that episode. And I hope that Hardy pays for this because he was 100% completely, without a doubt, exposed in this episode for not being a bad guy, because he's not. He's not a bad guy, but he's fake. And he's not as good of a guy as he claims to be. And the fact that he wants to target Will because Will's this evil guy, like, okay, get off your high horse here, Hardy. Will didn't sell people out. You did. And I just don't like Hardy. It's been made a point in previous reviews, and this just made me like him even less. So I'm just kind of ranting about how much I dislike Hardy at this point. But all in all, really good episode. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back for episode 21 here tomorrow. So thanks, guys. I'm out. Go Will. Hardy, you suck.